It's not about ethnic group and your capability. Everyone can be great. But I think that certain groups have figured out that discipline and managing themselves are so important to your life success. When's the motivation? We're going to be running this program. I want to hear from you, the viewers, what you'd like me to address. It's interesting how things evolve in your life, right? This was never, ever anywhere in my game plan for my life. Going on live, talking about how I can help people get some of my success tools. I travel all over the world right now. Never even thought about that. When I was a kid growing up, I didn't know if I could get on an airplane. But one thing for sure, I always felt that there was better. And that if I could work toward goals and I could think big, have big vision. And along the way, I learned something else, which is what I want to talk about today. I learned about the importance of discipline, the importance of thinking long term, the importance of delayed gratification. These are some of the things I learned that are key tools. You know, I've studied many successful people around the world. That's a success tool. You studying successful people, you're getting their knowledge, you're learning about their habits, you're understanding their techniques, you're tracking how they do, and see if you can take some of that and learn. So today the message I'm going to talk about is manage yourself. If you manage yourself, all your battles will be won. And life is a series of battles. If today you feel like you're on top of the world, things are working out for you, let me tell you this, there's a battle coming. All kinds of ways. Someone dies in your family, you get sick, you get an accident, crazy things happen like Las Vegas. Crazy things happened a couple weeks ago. Hurricane Irma wiped out Bermuda, wiped out Puerto Rico. Life is a series of battles. And I want you to remember that. If you're not in the battle, you know, if you're not in a war, because life is just a war, and you have a series of battles. So let me get that correct. If you're not seeing life in the way of battles, then you're just going through life and things are happening to you and you're reacting to it. And if you find that you're reacting to things, you're reacting to what people say, you're reacting to what's happening around you, you are not on your success journey. You have to be proactive, you have to be disciplined, you have to have a plan, you have to have goals, vision. So today what I'm going to talk about is manage yourself and all your battles will be won. Now, let's start. Waited long enough. Anyone who's here, even if it's one person, you're here, I want you to get some wisdom, right? Now, turn on the radio a little bit. I'm in a car right now. So here's the deal. Life is a war, and you're gonna have battles after battles after battles. And these won't stop. I want you to remember this. One of the greatest philosopher of all time, a Chinese philosopher, Sun Tzu, S-U-N-T-S-U. Look him up. Wrote a book called The Art of War. Art of War. Now, if you're trying to succeed in life, if you're just living your life, there's certain books I think you got to read. There's certain things, don't read the whole book. Look up Sun Tzu, find out the quotes, right? There's some people in life, you got to follow them, hear what they say. What he said was this: the general who knows himself and knows his opponent has already won the war before he even starts. He's won the battle. The general who knows himself and knows his opponent has already won the battle before he starts. How would you like that? Every time you're ready to go do something, you already know you're winning. That's how I feel every day, because I am preparing so that when I take any battle on, I am already seeing my victory. And that's another thing to remember. You don't go into any battle without visualize what end you would like. You want to see the end before you start. A lot of people jump out and they start fights. They start battles. They throw jabs. They do all that. You know what? If you start a fight, you start a battle, whether it's a physical battle or it's something you're taking on in your life, you're starting a new company, you're starting a new relationship, you're starting a new job, right? You're starting whatever you're going to start, and you can't visualize the end point, you can't visualize what is it you're trying to get out of it, then you're not prepared. Then Sun Tzu will tell you you're going to fail. The other thing that he said in The Art of War is, you have to know which battles to fight. You hear me? You got to know which battles to fight. So the two things: prepare before you go into battle by knowing yourself. What does that mean? Let me talk to you about that. How you manage yourself. You're a fighter. All your life you've been fighting. You may be rich and say, you know what, Kingsley, I'm rich right now, I have no fighting. But the truth is, you're fighting right now. Because just by you taking a breath, a lot of things happening for you to take that breath. If you don't battle to have good health, you're going to lose that. A lot of rich people get heart attacks, they get cancer, they get all that. One of the Nobel Prize winners for this year, 3 of them sharing the prize. They're looking at the circadian rhythm. What does that mean? That means your sleep cycle between darkness and light, and how your melatonin levels. And they're showing that if you don't manage that well, you're at risk for chronic diseases. That scared me, because I'm thinking, wow, you know what? I wasn't fighting that battle of making sure that I manage my sleep well. Getting 4 hours sleep at night, going hard at night, going hard during the day. You know what? I'm going to look at my sleep right now and see if I can figure out how I can manage that better. Because you're going to get a chronic disease. You're going to end up with diabetes, weight gain, all kind of crazy things. So my point to you is, you have to manage yourself every day. You're fighting battles. That started before you were born. The chance of you being born is so minuscule, millions and millions of odds of you being born. You had to have a sperm travel to find an egg, and you had to fight among millions of sperm so that you were born. And once that sperm entered that egg, you had to fight for 9 months just to stay alive. Think about that, right? During that time, you're fighting without even realizing it. You're immersed in amniotic fluid. You literally have that in your lungs, and you got to stay alive. So survival is instinct that you're born with. Now, some of us were kicking and screaming before we were born because we want to get going. We just weren't managing ourselves with the program. Your mom is carrying you in her room. You're kicking, you want to get out. Waking her up, all that kind of stuff, right? Now, the point is, just think about your survival. You're special. And you have to fight battles. If you're not fighting battles every day, you're chilling out, you're relaxing, you're easy. Maybe you're gaining weight. You're having disease, diabetes. You're having high blood pressure. You're having all these things going on, and you're just hanging on. Well, you're a survivor. You have to fight battles. You have to learn to manage yourself. What does that mean? It means that you should not be doing anything. You should not be getting up any day of your life without thinking about what is it you're going to take on today. Because even if you're trying to live a life free of what you think are issues, things will find you. You're always going to be in a state of fighting battles. So what I want you to do is to learn to manage yourself. Now let's talk about the tools that you need to use to manage yourself. Let's talk about that. From I was a young kid, I decided that I wanted to get to the point of financial security. I wanted to get there. So what did I do? I started thinking about how do you get there, right? And I very quickly I learned that the biggest problems I encountered in my life were the problems I had that I didn't manage myself. I didn't manage my decisions well. I had to study, and I didn't start studying enough time leading up to my exams, so now I got to cram and try and fit it all in. Had I been studying along the way, then things have been easier, I've gotten better grades. So over time I learned that, you know what, I need to plan before I do things. I need to manage what I do. And that goes to what I do today. If I'm going to take on anything in my life, I don't take it on unless I know exactly what return I'm going to get on that effort. I don't just go to a club just to go chill out and listen to music, or go do anything that I think is not going to be beneficial. And that is managing your decisions. You have to manage every decision. There's no trivial decision. No trivial decision. And so that is a sense that you have of how you manage yourself. So if you decide you're going to smoke, do you understand the consequences of that and understand that that decision is going to kill you? If you take on drugs, what do you think? That decision is going to result in you going to prison, or you killing yourself, or you getting into a bad situation. I'll tell you right now that I've studied so many successful people, and the things that they did that allowed them to succeed was they managed themselves. They managed their decisions. They stayed focused. They were disciplined. They kept focusing on what is it they need to do, and they tried to avoid distraction. They had to keep saying no to a lot of things that they may want. I call these candid decisions. These are decisions that seem, wow, you know what? It makes you feel high, good decisions because you feel good about it. It's not about how you feel about the decision. Is it about, is it going to help you succeed? Right? That's the decision you should follow. If you think about the people who fail in life, they fail because they couldn't manage themselves. I promise you, go study them. Here's the interesting things. Some of the same people that did all the right things, managed themselves, made the decisions to have delayed gratification. That means when everyone else is partying, when everyone else is loafing off and killing their time, they're focused and working hard. You know, I look at Tiger Woods from he was 3 years old. He's focused on golf. Focused on golf. He has his father around all his life. You got to practice. You got to practice. You got to stay focused. What happened? He reached to the highest level, #1 player for the longest time. He was trying to get to Jack Nicklaus' 18 majors. He made it to 14. Start partying. Start going to strip clubs. Start buying prostitutes. And he was married. He was making over $80 million a year in endorsements. Discipline. What happened? He lost it all. Where is Tiger Woods today? He got pulled over, DUI. He's falling to the bottom. His wife left him. Think about all that. That is from lack of managing himself. If Tiger Woods could only stay disciplined after his father died, man, I can't even imagine where he would be today. Now he's not going to break the record for the most major, but he's been losing hundreds of millions of dollars. So your decisions are not trivial. Your decisions are not trivial. Some of these decisions you think are trivial are life and death decisions. You're driving and you decide, you know what, I'm going to text someone. boom, you're dead. You didn't manage yourself. Whitney Houston, one of the best singers, was having movies, hit records after hit records. What happened to her? She died in a hotel room in a bathtub at the bottom. I'd rather stay poor all my life than go to the top and fall so far that I die. Prince, one of the best singers, died overdose. How do you explain all that? You know the discipline it takes to be a successful singer all your life? You know how much you have to manage your decisions? You know how much you have to make sure that you're living a clean life? And then when you get there, you forgot how important it is for you to stick with the program. Why? Because people start surrounding you and telling you how great things are for you. How you're amazing. And you forget that you're a human being. And all your life, from your sperm meeting an egg, you were fighting to stay alive. And then you stop fighting. You got to keep fighting every day of your life if you want to succeed. You can't go to work and be watching the clock, wondering where. You got to focus in the moment. Manage yourself, because then you lose your job. You know what? And then you on a slide. You are one bad decision, one bad move from complete failure. And worse, lose your life. So you got to manage yourself. That's my motivation for you today. And the tools are this. You make decisions thinking about the end. Why? Always ask why. Why should I do this? And then after you answer the why, then you go into how. How are you going to do it? And then you go into what you're going to do. Or you know what? Do the why, then what you're going to do, and then how you're going to do it. That's the 3 tools. And after you figure that out, you always want to make sure that anything you do, you're going to get a return on that. Because in the end of you want to get your life set. Now, let's say you're dirt poor right now. I grew up dirt poor. You got to start tomorrow managing yourself. Maybe you're in a bad neighborhood. You got to first learn to survive if you want to get set. Learn to survive. Whatever it is around you, you got to figure out how do you survive. Then you got to learn how to evolve. How do you get better? Right? How do you, whatever situation you are in right now, the first thing to do is to manage your decisions. Manage what you want to do. Because everything that happens to you is up to you. And after you evolve, you're changing, you want to do that slowly. And I want you to always think long term. If you're getting into decisions that are short term, hey, Kings, you know what? Dude, you know what? Come with me, let's do this. You're going to make a lot of money. No, I'm not interested. Anyone who knows me, shout out to anyone from Buff Bay, Portland, Port Antonio. Think about everything I've done in my life. It's always been long term. It's always been slow, undercover. You want to move silently and dangerously. Always planning and making moves. Don't be out there hyping yourself up and then you have to keep up the hype. You want to be planning your moves. So let's go through a bunch of categories of things. You have to make sure first and foremost you take care of your health. Because you know what? You know, I'm sure a lot of us take care of our cars better than we take care of ourselves. Because we know that we don't want to break down in the middle of the highway. We don't want to run out of gas. Right? But then when it comes on to us, we lie around, we gain weight, we have issues going on with our health. We don't take care of it. Listen, you got to get up tomorrow and make a decision to live as long as you can. You got to fight age. Fight age. Take that battle on. You say, you know what? I'm going to fight aging. You can get younger tomorrow. If you start exercising, you start dieting properly, right? No gimmicks, no shortcut. And that's a whole nother topic, but take care of your health. That's number 1. The second thing is, you gotta manage your time. You gotta make sure that you're getting the most done every day with your time, because you have limited time. You're losing time. Every day is gone. It never come back. You hear me? And you have to go out there and figure out How you're going to manage your stress. That's your spirituality. Maybe you go to church every Sunday. Maybe you go to church every Saturday. Maybe you relax and spend some time by yourself every day to make sure that, you know what, you're taking care of your stress. That's your spirituality I call stress. Because that's the inner you. The next thing, you got to look about your money. You know, there are a lot of ethnic groups in this world that are focused on making sure they make their money. And they may be thinking about their kids' future, their own future. But I want you to watch like the Chinese, the Indian, Jewish people. Shout out to anyone Chinese on here, anyone Jewish on here, anyone Indian on here. Because I have learned by watching those ethnic groups. And I've learned by watching Jamaicans who come to the US. They have 3-4 jobs. I mean, I've lost count of how many jobs I have. So it's not about ethnic group and your capability. Everyone can be great. But I think that certain groups have figured out that discipline and managing themselves are so important to your life success. So you have to go out there and go after your money tomorrow. All right? And your relationships. You have to work and battle to have a great relationship. Don't depend on someone else to make your life happy. You be the best person you can. And if every day you're going out there throwing jabs and trying to take on fights with people, you're going to get killed or your life's going to be miserable, because whatever you put out in the world is going to come back to you. So put out love every day. Put out love for everyone. So all I'm saying to you right now is take care of yourself. Manage everything that happens to you. Don't let things happen to you and you react to it. So if tomorrow someone says something to you, you know what, you have the right to get angry, but you're going to start changing and say, you know what, let me count to 10. And if you know that the situation causes you problem, avoid it. If you know you have certain weaknesses, I had a weakness for ice cream. Ice cream was what I used to eat when I want to like treat myself. But that stuff is bad for you. The sugar and the dairy, bad for you. So today, no ice cream for me. And it takes about 30 to 90 days for you to get over an issue that you have with something, whatever habit you have. So anyone out there eating ice cream, you got to stop eating that. You're drinking soda pop with all 48 grams of sugar, stop drinking that. You know, I go to Jamaica. Sorry about that, we just got cut off. But listen, the point is, you have to manage yourself today. Take pride in that. Focus on you. You're the most important person in your life. Focus on making sure that you take care of you. Like I said, there are certain things that you have to focus on. Your health, you got to focus on that. Your time management, right? Your relationships, you got to make sure that you're pursuing money, because you need money to take care of a lot of things in your life, take care of people around you, help the world get better, and show love to everyone in your life. Managing yourself will make you win all the battles. And life is a series of battles. You got to get up every day and fight for anything you want in your life. You can't be so content today. You can't be so content that you're just going through life. And stop thinking that if you go to church every Sunday, you know what, you're going to be saved and you're going to live this great life in heaven. Live it here. Your heaven is here. Take care of yourself. I'm out. Peace out. This is the doctor. Thank you for tuning in. We're starting from the bottom. Whoever is watching me right now, we got a lot. I have over 900 quotes that I have written down. I'm writing 8 books right now. We're going to do a lot of things because I'm giving my life to anyone who want to listen. Because it's amazing to me. I grew up with no father in Buff Bay, Portland. Went to Titchfield High School, Port Antonio. And now I'm in the United States, one of the top spine surgeons in the world. Thank you, God. And I got money, I got companies, I got all these things going on. I am blessed to be working with the people I work with right now at my companies. Those are some amazing people. Follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Prove Yourself TV, to get more proven success tips.